Sacramento is exploding with new communities, new areas, and today we talk about West Roseville. This isn't Roseville, this is West Roseville. We talk about the brand new home building, we talk about the school controversy, we talk about everything Roseville related in this video. And like I said, guys, this is West Roseville, not Roseville, and we're going to talk a little bit about the difference as well. Let's get into the video right now. First, let's talk about who West Roseville is perfect for. Number one is for someone who's maybe thinking about an active community. Sun City in Roseville is one of the top active plus 55 communities in all of the Sacramento area. Number two, if you're someone who likes to golf, Morgan Creek is one of the best golf courses in all the Sacramento area. It has an amazing house plans, floor plans, houses on the water, man-made lakes. It's amazing. Now, number three, and this is the majority of the people that I see moving into the West Roseville area, people who want brand new homes, but want them at a lower price than they're seeing them in other areas like Folsom, other areas like Elk Grove. Roseville, West Roseville specifically, has very competitive prices. They compete with maybe the Vineyard area. They compete a little bit with Anatolia. They also compete with Lincoln. So the price point in West Roseville is what's driving people into West Roseville because they can get more for less. And that's one of the biggest drivers. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the schools as far as Roseville schools versus center schools as well, too, which is a kind of a bone of contention with a lot of people buying homes in the West Roseville area. Stay till the end of the video as we unveil a brand new community area, maybe even a city in West Roseville that they just started breaking ground into, where you can get some amazing homes there at a fantastic price. Now, before we get into the maps, let's talk a little bit about the biggest pro that I like about West Roseville is you are on Roseville Electric, which is half the price of PG&E, and we really love it. Now, the only negative about that is some of the new home communities are being kind of built around the power towers, so just kind of keep that in mind. But here is Roseville as a whole. As you can see over here, the West Park area, that's kind of starting up the whole like West Roseville area. Now, Roseville is big. Now, what you're going to see is there is some freeway access, but for the most part, West Roseville is a little bit further away kind of from the freeway access and everything too, which is one of the gripes that we have from some of our clients where they're like, we like the area, we like the houses, we like the floor plans, but it's just a little too far from the freeway. Now let's get into a little bit of how far it is from various areas. Now remember, I'm doing this video at Friday at 5 p.m. So just understand that these maps are also add in a little traffic time as well too. But this is kind of where it's located as far as Sacramento, downtown, right there. Okay, so you're talking about maybe during traffic, you're talking about 44 minutes, but without traffic, I think you're talking about probably closer to about 30, 32 minutes. Now here's from the Bay Area. And like I said, guys, if you're going to be doing that drive to the Bay Area, I would definitely say time it. But for the most part, if you're thinking about coming here, maybe from Roseville to San Francisco without a lot of traffic, you're talking about an hour to 45 minutes, probably around there. That'll get you there. All right, so we got those two, and now we got this. And now as far as the airport goes, which is nice, and this is like, I guess, worst case scenario, rush hour traffic, 33 minutes from an airport. And this isn't like SFO. This isn't even like Oakland Airport. This is an easy breezy Sacramento airport that you can kind of drive right in, park your car if you feel like it. We have one of the easiest airports in my opinion, in the country to fly into and fly out of. So we have an international airport, like I said, at your fingertips, about 33 minutes away. And over here, you can see also, this is kind of the distance between Roseville and West Roseville. You're looking about maybe 15 to 19 minutes. And why you want to know where Roseville is because that's where you can see a majority of the shopping. You're going to see West Elm, you're going to see Restoration Hardware, you're going to see the Apple Store. Galleria and the Fountain are located there. So when a lot of people say, oh, West Roseville, and you're kind of wondering yourself, well, is there a big difference? What's the driving time look like? It's going to be about maybe between 15 and 19 minutes, depending on where you live in West Roseville, to get to the fountains and the Galleria. So that's kind of what you're looking like as far as location of where West Roseville is located. Now let's hit the price point. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this, but I also want you to understand that areas like Morgan Creek are going to be really, really more expensive than the price and the median home prices located right here. Morgan Creek is one of those communities that to get something underneath $1 million in Morgan Creek is still hard to do. But outside of Morgan Creek, with all the new home building happening too, this is kind of what it looks like as far as for price point. So you're looking here, you're looking for like, a 1,400 square foot house, lot size are between 4,000 to 6,000. You're looking at like under $500,000. That's why a lot of people like this area specifically, because there's builders like Meritage, builders like D.R. Horton that are answering the call of affordable housing. Like I said, guys, my spots, if you're looking for like $500,000 or close to, are definitely going to be Vineyard near Elk Grove, California, Rancho Cordova, the Anatolia area. Also, I'd try to check out Lincoln, West Roseville, and maybe even Antelope. Those are the areas that are going to get you close to $500,000. West Roseville and Rancho go neck and neck for a lot of the people who are looking to buy homes. Now, the other thing that's nice about West Roseville is the fact that you can get yourself a larger home, like a 2,300 square foot home for under $800,000 with builders like Pulte, builders like Lennar. They definitely answer the call for that as well too. And also you can go up to 4,000 square feet with builders like Pulte and still keep it under $1 million. This is something that's really hard to do, especially in the no home area in any other part of the Sacramento area. In fact, I would have to say that in West Roseville, you are going to get that 4,000 square foot house underneath $1 million. And the only other spot that I've seen that are building that size homes are maybe Crestley over in Rancho for that same price point. So there's going to be selective, but at the same time, understand this. Pulte is one of those builders that specializes in more bedrooms. So if you need 7 bedrooms, 9 bedrooms, Pulte can definitely make that happen in West Roseville, where in what's called Rancho, they're not building that big of houses out there. So if you're someone who's saying to yourself, I really want like a 4,000 square foot house, I want that in-law unit, but I want to keep it under $1 million, West Roseville is definitely where you go. Like I said, if you're looking for a brand new home, as far as affordability goes, West Roseville definitely answered the call for that. There's a lot of builders, a lot of floor plans, and there's not that much competition right now in West Roseville. They're having amazing incentives. Of course, reach out to our team for that. But the incentives, the floor plans, the amount of builders mean that it's super competitive between the builders, which makes it such a fantastic spot for people who are looking to buy because everybody wants your business. Now, before any of this new building started happening over in West Roseville, I would say that Morgan Creek pretty much anchored this area. Morgan Creek is that spot where if you're looking for something in the resale area, you like golf, man-made lakes, golf course, club living, this is where you go. You're going to see houses that go from anywhere maybe from like $1 million to maybe like 3.5 million. Morgan Creek is a very nice area. It's this kind of like own little entity where people don't say, I live in West Roseville or even Roseville. They say, I live in Morgan Creek. It has a little bit of the Serrano vibe there too, just a little bit more affordable. Now, for everyone also who's looking for maybe an active community, but they don't want to go all the way up to Lincoln or don't want to go maybe to Folsom, this is a community that's been a mainstay in West Roseville for a long time. Sun City, Roseville, active community, plus 55. It's one of those communities that people absolutely love, Del Webb, the whole 9 yards. So if you're someone who says, I don't want to go to Lincoln, but I'm looking for active community, I don't want to do Folsom, guys, this is one of the premier active communities. This has been a community that's been a staple in West Roseville for a long, long time. And so if you're someone looking for an active community, guys, this should be definitely on your radar. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about schools. Depending on which new home community you buy into or which area you buy into, you're either going to be part of Roseville schools or you're going to be part of Center Joint Unified. Now, it's interesting for me, at least. You know, it's funny because you could have two communities by the same builder, and one could be on one school district, the other one can be in the other. Now, for a lot of people, we're moving our families into the area, and we want to know what schools are associated with the area. So I would definitely say this to you guys looking out there: go to greatschools.org. I would say don't talk to salespeople, don't talk to realtors, do your own research because schools are super subjective. Like I said, greatschools.org is one of those spots I always send my clients to directly. But do realize this, that there are a couple school districts in there that you're going to need to decide on, and not all the new home communities might be building on the school district you want. So just make sure before you pull the trigger on your brand new home, or before you're even looking at a community, if schools are something that are super vital to you, just find out which school district they're on. And if you have any questions regarding the school districts directly, reach out to my team. We work with this kind of like touchy subject and this kind of like, elephant in the room about school districts a little bit. So reach out to our team. We can talk to you a little bit about it. But just so you guys know right now, and I know a lot of people watching this video are watching for the new homes, right? It's going to be dicey for you guys because if you guys are looking for like Center or if you're looking for Roseville, each community is kind of building, one's building on this one, one's building on that one. And school access is going to be a big deal going forward since they're putting in like 30,000 plus new homes in that entire area. Schools are becoming a big, big thing. So just make sure, like I said, before you pull the trigger, before you even go look at a home, it's in the school district and the schools that make sense to you. And like I said, I always point my clients at greatschools.org, because it will give you a little bit of that Pepsi challenge between schools that you definitely need to know before you pull the trigger. All right, so let's talk a little bit about driving right now. I hit this a little bit in the intro, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about this. West Roseville, the areas that they're building out there, what's called Fitiment, Solaire, Sierra, Winding Creek, and the new one coming up. It's just like they're building further out there. There's a lot of land out there, but what you're going to notice is the further they build out there, the less like freeway access you have, and the less kind of back roads you have into like Roseville, where they have right here, where they have like the Galleria and the fountains and everything too. So just understand for you guys too, like there is going to be a little bit of a traffic thing there, considering how many houses they're building. They are building like roadways that are going to kind of hopefully take care of that. But just so you guys know, there should be a little bit like there will be a little bit of traffic going on there. And if you need to access areas like, like downtown, or if you need to go like to downtown or go to Roseville to the Galleria and fountains, you are looking at about a 19-minute drive. A lot of people now, again, will move out to West Roseville and they do the Zoom thing or whatnot. But just so you guys know right now, the infrastructure is being built out in that area. Now, areas like Folsom Ranch, for example, right? Because the Palladium and the shopping are right across the freeway, it's going to be a little bit faster for it to kind of like go, because, people are buying there and they still have those stores and shops like within like 5 minutes away. Costco's like 3 minutes away. Now in West Roseville, they're building a complete brand new infrastructure around West Roseville. We have what's called an Amazon Smart Store over there. We have a brand new Costco. We have a lot of commercial being developed in West Park itself, or West Roseville itself. So what you're going to see is, instead of solely like in Folsom relying on Folsom Ranch and the Palladium and Costco and everything too, they're basically building everything almost from scratch there. What I see maybe in 2030, 2035 is this area will have its own commercial development. You might go to the fountains and Galleria now and again, but you're going to basically be able to do all your shopping in the West Roseville area. There's a lot of land to build, a lot of commercial out there too. So guys, it might take a little bit more time than Roseville, but I definitely think that's going to come. Now, before that happens, there is going to be traffic. There's going to be a little bit of a traffic thing going into Roseville for the shopping. There always kind of is. And if you guys haven't seen the Roseville Galleria and the fountains, there's already a ton of traffic there with the 80 and the 65, crossing sections. So I'll tell you this, like the traffic probably is going to get a little worse getting there. And the traffic, the Roseville, the Galleria and the fountains isn't something anyone likes. So just kind of be aware of that as well too, that if you do buy in the West Roseville area, you are going to be a little further away from the freeway, further away from shopping, but eventually that stuff is going to come to you. Now let's talk about where the new home builders are actually building, right? So Fitiment, other than West Park, was pretty much the first area that you're going to see a lot of building happening, right? You're going to see Fitiment is still almost built out, but they still have like builders over there kind of building as well too. You're going to see builders like maybe like JMC, builders like Woodside and everything too. And they're going to have a community in at least 3 out of the 5 kind of big areas they're building in West Roseville. The areas I would say would be Fitiment, Solaire, Sierra, Winding Creek, and the new one, Amoruso. Now, these are areas that for the most part are just empty land and they just are developing them out. So Fitiment for me, like we closed a couple Taylor Morrison deals out there, and Fitiment for me, I like the Fitiment area. I thought it was really, really nice. Like I said, the only cons I would say about any of these areas is the fact that Roseville Electric, which is a great pro, but you're going to see a lot of power towers. In fact, the Taylor Morrison community of Magnolia had the Roseville Electric right there. So a lot of people didn't like to look at that, but for the most part, understand that like if you go in the West Roseville area, you are going to see some power towers, and you are definitely going to see Roseville utilities or electric out there as well too. Now, like I said, the areas that they're building right now, Fitiment, Solaire, Sierra, Winding, and now Amoruso Ranch. Now, Fitiment, like I said, is almost built out. Solaire, I think you got Beazer out there, which is one of my favorite builders out there. Sierra out there as well too. Sierra still has some Richmond American building. All right, let's get into some of the builders that are building right now. You have Verado 2 at Solaire by Beazer. I really like this community. Right now they're offering crazy incentives. If you're looking for something like in the 500s, they can definitely work with you. So I like this. And I think right now, especially this time of year, you're going to see some great deals over there. Winding Creek, like I said, is one of their big areas they're building out. I do like Wildflower at Winding Creek. This is Woodside Homes. This is a brand new community that just opened up. Now, the benefits with buying at a brand new community when they just open up is usually they price at the very get-go like aggressively, and then they kind of increase prices based on releases. So let's say you buy a brand new home and it's going to be ready in 6 months, and you have maybe like 10 releases during that time. Each release is kind of like, let's say like $5,000. Then you could walk into like $50,000 worth of like equity in your house, which is nice. So we worked with a lot of clients who basically are the first ones in the door. They buy their first models, and next thing you know, they walk into their house 6 months later between $50,000 and $70,000, like with already like, in equity in their house. And they're looking at it going like, wow, if we would have waited and bought now, we would have had to pay like $50,000, $60,000 more for that exact same home. So understand this. There are benefits at times of, if you see an area that's exploding, you see a community that's doing fantastic. If you're the first one in the door and you decide, hey, I want this. Now, the funny thing about this is there is a friend of mine, Terry, who works at TriPoint. He tends to buy one of the first models that's sold at their new communities. And then once it's done, he ends up selling it and making some money. So understand this, guys. Like, there are ways to kind of do this where you can kind of leverage the market. Like I said, first time in, go in there. If you like a community, you see that the real estate market is crazy. You see this community is a hot one. I would say like this is your time to buy because, like I said, every release, as long as the market holds and we're still going in the same direction, they should be increasing price upon price upon price. I saw it happen at Taylor Morrison Folsom Ranch. I saw it also happen at Lennar over in Elk Grove. So it definitely does work. So this one, like I said, the one by by Woodside opened up. There is another Woodside communities. There's actually two more. There's one that's kind of like named after wines that's closing out, but another one that I like as well too in, I think it's in actually the Solaire area. And it actually has a really nice single story floor plan as well too. So Woodside is going to have a big presence over in the Roseville area as well too. But I would say for me, I like if you're looking for something that's maybe like in the low 500s, or if you're looking for like the best bang for your buck with quality, whether you're an investor, whether you're looking for a first-time home, I really do like this community, Meritage Homes. I think they're a great community. I think for the most part, like the properties are in the right price range. I think they have great incentives. I like the people who sell there as well too. So for me, back in the day, I would say like what's called D.R. Horton's Balboa 2 was a property because a lot of those homes were selling in the high fours, and we had a lot of investors that went in contract with those. But right now, what you notice is Balboa 2 by D.R. Horton already sold out. Now D.R. Horton is selling actually above what Meritage is selling for. So Meritage not only has a quality, but also has a price as well too. So if you're looking for something like that, guys, Meritage should definitely be something you're looking at. Now, like I said, different areas like, Fittyman Farm, I have my top pick there, Solaire, Sierra, Winding Creek, Amorosa Ranch, where they're building some great stuff as well too. I would say just if West Roseville is your thing, just understand that each area is going to be a little different. I like Pulte, for example, for their floor plans, how nice they are, how many bedrooms they have. I love that area. But at the same time, we've had a couple clients because they've been kind of like they wanted Roseville schools. The center schools didn't work for them. Now, for me, like I said, schools are subjective, and I think the Pulte floor plans are fantastic. Now, for me, I would say definitely check out schools with any of these communities being mentioned above on this. K-Hov's been out there for a while. Winding Creek is good. I think that their builds out there are nice, but if I was going to go for a K-Hov and I was going to go in this kind of direction, I would say Rancho. They're doing better incentives over there as well too, which I like. Taylor Morrison is not going to be building in Roseville for a long, long time. Their last community, Magnolia, sold out. So Taylor has not bought land in Roseville. They don't plan on building out in Roseville. The builder that I hear might be building in Roseville in the near future is Toll Brothers. So also as far as Melrose goes, Melrose is kind of on par with Rancho. We're talking anywhere between the high twos and middle threes. So $290 a month, $350 a month for like the bigger homes. But like in Rancho, the only builder that I've been seeing with crazy Melrose is going to be Woodside, and there are new communities out there too. Other than that, everyone's still kind of keeping it in the West Roseville area between like high twos and like mid threes. So that's kind of what you're looking like as far as Melrose there. Now, as far as HOAs there, we have a list of the HOAs and non-HOAs communities. I would say what you're looking like right now in the West Roseville area, I would say about like 35% of the communities do have HOAs, but they're kind of like, $40, $50, $60 HOAs that just take care of the front of the house, and that's it, no gate. And then you have other communities like Richmond American has a community, GMC community. The HOA is a little higher. They take care of the front, but they also have gated security. Other than that, I haven't seen any communities other than like the Lennar plus 55 active communities that have like clubhouses and pools and everything too. What we're seeing right now in the Sacramento area is a lot of the new home builders are doing these like little kind of minor HOA charges where it's like $40, $80. They just maintain the front. Some have gates, some don't, but I'm not seeing a lot of communities that have HOAs that have pools, workout facilities, and all that stuff too. We're not seeing a lot of that happen in the Sacramento area. Now, if you have any questions, and we're going to talk about Amoroso Ranch next, but if you have any questions right now about like any new home communities, any incentives being given, I wanted to keep this video a little evergreen. So if you guys see this, you get a general idea of where the new homes are being built in West Roseville. We always have an incentive sheet. We always have who's building like the latest and greatest in West Roseville, because that's an area we spend a lot of time in. So if you have any specific concerns, or you want to know about builders building right now in the West Roseville area, just give us a call. And like I said, you're going to see almost every builder out there. You got Cahab, you got Woodside with 3 communities. I think Cahab has 3 communities as well too. Who else do we got out there? You got Richmond American with 2 communities out there as well. You have Meritage with 2 communities. You have D.R. Horton now with, I think, 6 communities out in that area. So there's a very competitive building going on out there too. I don't think that there's going to be any new builders out there. Oh, you got Beazer as well too. So there's a lot of builders, a lot of competition out there, which is always great for the buyers. You also have Pulte, which probably Pulte Homes offers the largest floor plans I've actually seen in West Roseville. Majority of the floor plans that I'm seeing in West Roseville outside of Pulte range between maybe like 1,800 square feet to maybe around 2,500 to 2,700 square feet. So that's kind of what you're looking like for the new homes building out there. And like I said, the pros, of course, Roseville Electric. The cons, depending on which community you buy into, you might see some power towers, or you might see Roseville Electric itself. Okay, so let's talk about the latest and greatest area that they're building out in the West Roseville area, Amoroso Ranch. Okay, so D.R. Horton is out there right now with 6 different collections out there. This whole area is supposed to be amazing. And like I said, they're building out there and they're kind of going further and further away. So just understand this community is really, really nice. Price point is, look at this. This is pretty amazing as far as like what you get here. But the only thing is, though, they keep building further and farther away from the freeways, from the roads and everything, too. So it's just something to keep in mind. But this area is the latest and greatest. So if you kind of like, you've seen Fitiment, you've seen Solaire, you've seen Sierra, you've seen Winding, and none of those kind of check the boxes for you, this is definitely a community that's hot right now. They're very aggressively marketing it. They're very aggressively giving like some amazing incentives. Price point, in my opinion, is a little bit lower than it should be. I do not know how this area is going to develop. The only thing that I've noticed right now is D.R. Horton, which tends to be a very nice, affordable builder, has laid claim to this area. Lennar is going to be out there as well, too. So this is like the hot area of West Roseville that's developed. Like I said, guys, West Park done, Fitiment underway, almost completed. Solaire is kind of, I'd say maybe about 50% there. Sierra is doing their thing out there too, with like the K-Hobbs and everything too in Richmond. Winding Creek is doing their thing. And now the latest and greatest is Amoroso Ranch. What you're going to notice for the most part is these new areas are going to be popping up in the Sacramento area. They're going to be kind of, I don't even describe them. They're not going to be cities, but they are going to be kind of like their own spots. You've seen it with Toll Brothers, Bickford Ranch. Now all of a sudden Bickford Ranch exists. So these are kind of areas, kind of like semi kind of cities, maybe towns that are developing that new home builders are putting up. So that's where your Melrose is going to kind of use as far as building out these communities. So if you're someone who's looking West Roseville, those are the kind of 5 kind of communities out there, or finding areas, cities that you should be looking at. And West Roseville doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon with its new Costco, smart stores, commercial development. This whole West Roseville area is going to be just on fire. So if you guys are looking to kind of go into the latest and greatest, somewhere that maybe by 2030, 33, 35 is going to be developed with its own commercial, schools, and infrastructure, West Roseville is definitely one of those spots you definitely need to take a look at. And if you are someone who's looking for a brand new home and you're thinking to yourself, look, I don't want to go to 6. I don't want to go to 7. I like the idea of staying to $500,000 or close to that. They have super competitive buildings that can get you there. And we've been seeing it with our clients. Okay, so my final thoughts on the West Roseville area. Like I mentioned a few more times in this video, if you're someone who's looking for a brand new home, if you're looking for an up and coming kind of area that's developing and doing its own thing, West Roseville is definitely good to check out. A lot of the clients we're bringing into West Roseville specifically are clients who are looking for still that kind of like brand new home, keeping it close to $500,000. They want to get in for the schools. They want to get in for the development of the area. So I do like this area. Now, as far as the cons go, like I mentioned before, it's kind of further away from the freeways. There's a lot of back road driving and the infrastructure still needs to be developed. But it is an up and coming growing area. I always tell my clients, you don't want to buy at the peak. You want to buy somewhere where you see it developing and you believe in the area. This is an area like that. Like I said, here's Roseville right here. As you can see, it's pretty large. And then you got West Roseville right over here further away. Roseville wasn't always what it is now. It grew just like West Roseville is doing itself. So if you're thinking about a brand new home, close to 500, definitely check out this spot. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button because it took me about a week to get this presentation down for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and this in-depth analysis of West Roseville. If you're thinking about moving to Sacramento, guys, and Sacramento is exploding, like I said, West Roseville should be a spot you're looking at or at least know a little bit about. Now, I have another video for you right over there, another area in Sacramento that you should know about. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next video, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one.